additional $1,000 has been posted for anyone who can score less than 300. Babe misses the putt and just misses the 1,000, scoring 300 on the nose. But she wins the tournament by 8 strokes. America's top woman athlete, both richer and poorer, receives congratulations.
Mrs. Zaharias has the crown wrapped up. Just 18 months ago, she underwent an operation for cancer. Everyone said her career was over, but here she is, winning by a mile, a margin of 12 strokes with a score of 291, one of the most inspiring comebacks in all sports history. Arriving at the final green, Fay Crocker has the title in her grasp. The gallery knows it. It's only a matter of holding out. And Fay finishes with a score of 299. It gives her a 4-stroke margin for the championship. The South American girl wins our biggest women's tournament, and her Wichita hostess gives her a good neighborly hug.
But gladness turns to sorrow. Mrs. Pung has made a mistake on her scorecard. Although correct in her total, the rule is inflexible: disqualification. To her surprise, Betsy Rawls learns she has won the crown for the 3rd time, but club members raise a purse for Mrs. Pung that far exceeds the $1,800 first prize. But they're all playing for second place after the pace Miss Wright sets. Closing with a 74, the California girl wins with a 290, breaking Babe Didrikson's old record by 1 stroke. She's the first ever to win both the Ladies PGA and the Open in one season, and top money winner to boot.
On the 18th, Betsy Rawls leads Miss Zisk by a slim margin. A long putt here. She holds out with a par 4, an aggregate of 292. It's the winning score for Betsy Rawls, her 4th U.S. Open. Betsy's the first woman to turn the trick. She 2-putts the final green. She has to settle here for an even par 72. But that puts her far ahead of the field, 6 strokes to be exact. The winner of the Women's Open in 58 and 59, Miss Wright, who suffered the jitters in early rounds, but came back to don her 3rd Open crown.
Mills had just turned professional a year earlier after a decorated amateur career that saw her win the Mississippi Women's Amateur 8 consecutive years. She capped off the 3 competition days in Ohio by holing a 12-foot birdie putt on the 72nd hole for a final round score of 73 to garner her first professional victory.
3.5 feet.
There it is, Mickey Wright. Takes it for a and she flings it with joy into the crowd. She finishes 2 under par to tie Ruth Jessen, and there will be a playoff for the USGA Women's Open Championship tomorrow at the San Diego Country Club in Chula Vista, California.
She got her putt, tying Jessen, and forced the playoff. She came back the next day and played a solid round of 70 to win her 4th United States Women's Open Championship.
She led by 5 strokes going into the final round at the Homestead in Hot Springs, Virginia, and despite a closing 79, held on to win by 2 strokes over Beth Stone and Susie Maxwell. Coming into the championship, few knew of Lacoste, but almost everyone knew of the shirts that bore her family's name.
Looks like maybe a 3-iron.
Yes, I'm sure she played it just down the fairway, so she know that she wouldn't reach the water, because that would be the only way that she could possibly lose this championship, would be do something foolish like that. She's not about to after playing so great in this tournament.
She is facing her 2nd shot at the 18th. The biggest figure in women's golf this year. She hits a shot off to the golfer's left, and it comes up on the green. And that just about does it. She can get down. In 2 from there, she'd have a par, but she doesn't need to. She has a 4-stroke lead. So Susie Maxwell Burning has won the 16th USGA Women's Open for 1968.
There's Kathy watching as Donna putts and makes it. At the age of 24, Donna Capone may have won the U.S. Women's Open Championship.
On the left is Susie Burning. Both these girls, both for pars. Barnett gets hers, and let's see what Susie Burning does. And they both get them to remain in a lead. You saw our co-leaders there.
And the new Ladies Open champion. Susan, you must be happy.
Thank you. I just really can't believe it.
The way she's been putting all week, she'll probably roll this, and she does. Ooh.
So she had a level par round today of 72. The champion, back-to-back victories, going along with her 1968 championship in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Eventually, Mrs. Carter had this putt to wrap it up on the 18th. Actually, she was home free because Sandra had made another bogey. But, watch it, down it goes. Joanne Carter has now won 8 USGA titles. The girls' junior, the women's amateur 5 times, and the women's open twice. Only Bob Jones won more national championships. He was a USGA champion 9 times.
And she did. We're seeing here a very gifted golfer who doesn't mind letting you know that she enjoys herself. And that's always a refreshing sight to me.
She made it. She made it. Look at that.
2 in a row for the kid from Savannah. One of 10 children of Tilly Stacy. A remarkable woman, her mother, who's been with her every step of the way. Hollis Stacy has done it again, and congratulations to her.
Now, Geraldine Britz with a shorter shot.
Got her going right at it.
Good shot.
Oh, she's got a birdie attempt here that could wrap up the United States Open.
284, which would be a new record by 3 strokes.
There it is.
All right.
Geraldine Britt of Minneapolis, Minnesota, is the 1979 U.S. Women's Open champion, and this is something she has never experienced before, winning a golf tournament.
And now what may be the final shot of this championship. Amy puts it in the hole.
For a bogey, but a score of 280, Jim. That's marvelous playing.
Okay, there it is. A new record by 4 shots for the U.S. Women's Open Golf Championship for Amy Alcott.
That's great.
Isn't that marvelous? And, of course, the caddy she embraced there is used to this act. It's the 3rd time he's done it. Twice before with Hollis Stacy. But the woman of the day, of the weekend, Amy Alcott, the new national champion. He would eventually have ended up with a playoff. Pat Bradley had to make this one to win. She made sure of it, down it went, and Pat Bradley of New England was the U.S. Women's Open Golf Champion for 1981. Pat Bradley, a worthy champion, pushed to the limit by Beth Daniel. And from there on, the others faded, and she steadied. Janet Alex with this to win the U.S. Women's Open Golf Championship. There it was. And what a thrill it has to be. One to always remember.
Not in, but good enough to tap in will win the U.S. Women's Open for Jan Stevenson.
She's done it. It looked like she said, I can't believe I won. I'm not good at reading lips, but
She started the day at 3 over, finished at 6 over, a 3 over par round of 74.
Very steadily, came to the 18th green with this putt for a par, an outstanding round of 69. No problem there, 69 for Hollis Stacy. Not this time. And so Hollis Stacy had won her 3rd U.S. Women's Open at the Salem Country Club, just like Babe Zaharias 30 years before. attention to that one. Kathy has had rounds of 70, 72, 68 yesterday, and she's 2 under in today's round, headed for 70 if she makes that putt. Now Kathy Baker. That's it. Par 4 for a round of 70. 2 under par today, 8 under par for the championship. The U.S. Women's Open Golf Champion, the national champion of 1985 is 24-year-old Kathy Baker of Clover, South Carolina. And she earned it all the way. 1 under par, 71, I should have said. That's right.
Break.
No. That'll be 1 over 73. 71 for Jane Geddes. 70 for Sally Little. Rhonda Glenn has already made her way downstairs. She'll be having a word with the new champion, the new United States Women's Open Golf Champion, Jane Geddes of Irving, Texas, at age 26. She's never won before, so that's a new experience.
That's her mother and father.
There they are. Been with her all the way, Mom and Dad.
What you want to do is make it like a champion, like you really need it. Knock it in there. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. The USGA Women's Open Champion. And a little kiss from her brother there. They've worked hard all week. It's been a long week for that young lady. Congratulations from Joanne Carter, gracious winner, gracious loser. It'll be a new tournament record for 72 holes.
And there it is. 69 today. She finishes 7 over. Wins by 3, and you don't have to learn that gesture of throwing that ball to the crowd.
I think the Orioles could use her, because she's got a better arm than some of your players, I've seen.
Afraid you're right. I'm afraid you're right. With rounds of 67, 72, 69, and 69, 3 of the 4 rounds under 70 on the difficult Five Farms course.
Even has a good arm.
Standing ovation here.
Well, to her, awfully happy as Betsy now has this putt for par. And there you have it. 2 under 70. She's at 4 under par and will sit back and wait.
Oh, get in! Come on! Get in!
Good job. Not on this Sunday, and Betsy King has just won her 2nd consecutive United States Women Open Championship. Congratulations, Betsy.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Roger. She was yelling, "Get in!" She was scaring me a little bit there.
If you don't make the cut, just to be able to go up and just give it a little bit of a tap. He's asking Dottie Mockner if he's getting in the line. There it is. 4 under par, 67, and a 2-shot lead right now for Meg Mallon, looking to win her 2nd major championship of 1991.
Has captured her first United States Women's Open Golf Championship.
Patty Sheehan again is the United States Open champion.
She might very well be the best golfer of the last decade.
She has been spectacular as she hugs her father.
A 68 today.
And she's going to force Meg Mallon to have to play under par the last 2 holes.
Her boyfriend, fiance David Esch. Face of the 1995 champion is 24-year-old Annika Sorenstein.
That for a 66. Back-to-back championships for Annika Sorenstein.
8 under par, 272, a record that might not be broken by too many people in a long time.
Nicholas is the second Brit to win the U.S. Women's Open.
That's a great moment. I tell you what a battle.
And there it is.
Almost a birdie. And she wanted to do that dance that we saw earlier in this championship, Johnny.
If they yell loud enough, they might knock it in.
In her 20th U.S. Open, Julie Inkster is finally an Open champion.
There's the husband, Brian.
For birdie, and Kari Webb has herself an Open championship. And her third major. And like Tiger Woods, Kari Webb has won 3 of the last 4 major championships.
The best player won.
21st win of the year, 5th of this season.
Won by 5 last year, by 8 this year. And this is what provided the final margin. Birdie at 18. And we'll be back for the presentation. And a word from the champion for the 2nd straight year in the U.S. Women's Open. Kari Webb adds another major to her resume.
Julie Inkster has this little tap in for a phenomenal 66. Going against the best player in the world. Last day of U.S. Women's Open Championship. Tough course. Got the job done.
So it's looking very good that Inkster will win a second Open title. Back at Old Waverly, I never forget coming down the fairway when she had the big lead. She said, "Mama's gonna bring home a trophy, girls. It's a big one." And Mom has a chance to bring that big one home again. It's gonna take a miraculous stretch run down here for Sorenstein, who's gonna have to make that birdie at 17 and hope for a pull-out eagle at 18. Champions in the history of the U.S. Women's Open. Birdie wins it.
Just what you're supposed to do with a couple shot lead is just cozy it up there just short.
Wouldn't have been surprised if it gone in though.
Yeah, but that's what you're supposed to do.
But what you're seeing here is a 65 and the lowest round ever turned in by a U.S. Women's Open champion. Meg Mallon has done it again, 13 years removed from the first one.
Oh, here comes your brothers.
There's the family, the Mallons.
This player's only gotten up and out of a bunker 6 of 27 times all year. Not exactly a strong stat.
Aiming out to the right quite a ways. Just looking way over here. Did she get it there? So they hit a scooter. It might be good. Good luck. Are you kidding me? Look at this.
Talk about great moments in USGA history. My goodness.
Morgan Trussell just got robbed.
Birdie for birdie at 18.
That is just like a Larry Mize at the Masters right there. Just a no-brainer.
Changed her name to Birdie Kim just in time to perhaps win the biggest championship in women's golf. Number 3 finally. Championship, the biggest one of all, and finally just overcome with emotion. The 2007 U.S. Women's Open champion.
feeling like it in women's golf.
There it is. The age of 19, in B Park. The only player with all 4 rounds under par in this championship. -9, and somewhere Dottie Sayri-Pak must be smiling.
She should be very proud. And so many of her fellow countrywomen, this has become a bit of a tradition on the LPGA Tour. Of this.
Good looking putt.
Lays it with a birdie at the 72nd hole. What a putt. Candy Carney, no playoff for her.
What a 3.
At the 72nd hole. Broken through with a U.S. Women's Open title. No tears of disappointment this year. Tears of joy. Again, talk about that big hug.
Okay.
She finished in style with a birdie. Two birdies in a row for you at the 18th, and now it is sunk in. She's a Women's Open champion. Impressive, 3-4-3 in the playoff.
And birdied the 18th 3 times in a row. 3rd, 4th, and playoff.
It's going to take another trophy back tomorrow to South Korea. As this championship has gone full circle here at Black Wolf Run. From Sayri-Pak in '98 to Na-Yeon Choi in 2012. Same season having a chance to win 4 straight professionals. Has an historic 3 for 3 to start off 2013 with her 2nd U.S. Women's Open title. And there's Na-Yeon Choi, last year's champion, out there to congratulate her. And you know there's going to be an embrace with mom and dad, who have not had the opportunity to see a lot of wins in person by their 24-year-old daughter. What a way to break through to the shot. U.S. Women's Open.
Looked like a good putt, good stroke. Just a little overread. I mean, one thing's for sure, Amy Yang saw all of that, Julie.
Oh, yes. That's when it's nice to keep up with the group in front of you.
What a day, though, for the 20-year-old In-Ji Chun, who is now tied at 8 under par. Shooting a 66 here on Sunday.
She played great all week. She did all the things she needed to do.
And Brittany Lang is the U.S. Women's Open champion. The pride of Duke University. A hug from her husband, Kevin Spann. And a championship, a major championship on the resume of Brittany Lang. And she's done that. What a round of 67 today. And she finishes here this week what she couldn't a year ago.
What a player and what a future.
David Jones there to guide her through, and made a bogey at 18 in regulation, but with this has won the U.S. Women's Open Championship.
Good job.
With her older sister, Moria, there to celebrate with her. Look to be on cruise control. Finishes her round bogey, par, bogey.
There's not much in this putt. It just looks like maybe a little left to right initially, but couldn't ask for a better putt.
And that is birdie number 16 on the week. It leads the field. And A-Lim Kim has taken the lead with 3 straight birdies down the stretch.
Incredible.
2 back. This needs to drop to tie.
It's right of the flag.
That's a good shot, but not quite enough at 18 for Amy Olsen.
Those in South Korea as well.
And you bet her life is about to change. Whoa! Different kind of championship, different kind of feel, different kind of week. month of December. But the U.S. Women's Open Championship remains the biggest they play, and Ailin Kim is just beginning to literally soak it all in.
And she makes it, and Yuka Saso is the U.S. Women's Open champion, a new star in the women's game. A birdie to win, doing it in style. How about that, Morgan?
What a fight. What a performance from her this week. What a comeback today, especially after getting off to it.
Greatness is never achieved alone. The USGA and Pro Medica together are raising the bar, elevating the U.S. Women's Open to unparalleled heights.
You are beautiful. I really like you.
A partnership with purpose, making an impact on the course and off. Driven by innovation and leadership for women to realize their dreams. With stakes that have never been higher. And a purse that has never been bigger. On the country's grandest stages. And this is just the beginning.